Hey everybody, welcome back to the couch. My name is Melissa and this is Couch Mom Club. Today my baby girl is a little bit over a week old and I have a few things to tell you. In fact, a few tips and tricks to help you to survive the newborn stage. So let's just get into the video. I'm going to show you a few things that I've learned having a newborn. I didn't learn them all this time around, but I found that putting them into practice this time around really helped me to survive the newborn stage. So let's get right into the video. So I don't know if I'm going to go in order of importance or what I found the most helpful, but I do know that there are a few things that I've done and a few things that we've implemented around the home that just made it easier to survive these newborn stages. And I promise you, they don't last. But just because they don't last doesn't mean something else isn't coming. So let me tell you what I've done first of all. Number one, and I think I want to add this first because to me it's really important, because I feel like a lot of times when you have a newborn baby, you think, oh, you got to be really quiet and you got to kind of dance around the baby. But we have two very rambunctious toddlers and there's no being quiet. There's no, downtime, and there's no trying to keep the noise at a minimum. We're always busy, always doing something. Teo just forgoes his naps half the time, so he's always playing with his cars, which means there's always a mess, which means we're always cleaning. And I just find that something that really helps in the beginning stages is not to limit the noise or try to be more quiet, but to just be your authentic self. If you are a loud family, if you talk loud, if your kids are having a good time and they're loud all the time, don't try to keep them quiet. If you have to vacuum, for example, don't try to limit that to when the baby is awake or those few moments when everybody's being loud. You want to just be able to do what you have to do when you have to do it. So if you have to vacuum while baby is sleeping, go for it. If your kids are playing loudly while baby is sleeping, let them play. Be loud, because that will train your baby to sleep through the sounds. We can't always be quiet, especially not in a house with two toddlers. So it is not going to be beneficial to us if we create this very quiet and pristine atmosphere where the baby can just sleep in peace. So another thing that I've learned to help me survive the newborn stage is to learn how to breastfeed in public. Now, this is something that I fumbled with a lot during my first round of breastfeeding with my son, and it's something that I've learned to get better at and learn to just do freely. I feel like not so much just breastfeeding, but to mother in public, to do what you have to do to be the mother that you are. And for me, it's a little bit about getting comfortable with your environment and knowing your body, what you prefer to see happen, and practicing those things. And then the other part of it is just to not care. So I totally understand why some people will feel a bit apprehensive about breastfeeding in public. I get it. Being that this is my third kid, I'm now a little bit more comfortable, and let's be honest, I just don't care anymore. When my baby needs to be fed, I feed her no matter where I am. I just do it in such a way where I feel comfortable and everything is good. So you want to make sure, as I mentioned before, to be wearing comfortable clothing, something that you can easily access what you need to access so that you can feed your hungry baby. I get it. Other people might be looking at you wondering, what is she doing? They might judge you even. But I promise you, if you get comfortable doing what you need to do as a mom and not worrying about what other people think, you'll feel more comfortable, you'll feel more confident, and you will just save yourself heartache and pain. So get comfortable feeding your baby in public and get comfortable mothering your children in public. Now, this means discipline. This means, kissing owies, whatever it is. Just get comfortable doing it on your own terms and don't worry about what other people think. I know that sometimes when we get into public spaces with our children, we kind of look around to see who's watching. We tend not to be as true to who we are as mothers because we don't know who's looking on, what they have to say. The judgments are just endless. But if you can get into a place where you just don't care, I think that will benefit you a whole lot during your mothering stages, especially during the newborn stages, because that is the time when you're going to feel the most flustered, you're going to feel the most out of body, and just, you're trying to get your footing and you're trying to understand life as a new mom. The last thing you want to do is worry about what other people think. The last thing you want to do is want to be self-conscious and, just looking at what could go wrong and seeing all the things that you're making up in your mind usually, because sometimes those things are not even happening. But if you can just eliminate those ideas, those fears from the very beginning, just let yourself be free to either nurse in public, to be a mother in public, and that means like sometimes discipline, especially if you have rambunctious little kids like I do. Sometimes you have to discipline them in public, and just learning to not care about what others think. Do you be the mom that you were meant to be and eliminate all the fears and the worries about what other people are doing, what other people are thinking, because that is when you're going to really shine, and that is going to help you survive, especially the newborn stages. These next 2 tips that I've learned over the years of being a mother, I find are just really beneficial for the baby and for your own peace of mind. The first thing is to make sure that you have mitts and a hat. Sometimes it's warm outside and you won't quite need the hat, but I find that the gloves are always needed. Those mittens, or what my husband likes to call hand socks. What do you call them again?
They're hand socks because mittens are 2 compartments, gloves are 5 compartments.
You hear this logic?
And hand socks are 1 compartment because foot socks are also 1 compartment.
Right, so they're hand socks. You had another name for it. You said hand socks, and what else was okay? You had a different name for it.
Hand tubes? No.
It wasn't hand tubes. I don't remember. But if you remember, we'll add that in there too, because you all need to know about these hand socks. Having those mittens, I'm going to call them mittens, are really, really important for me, because it just really sucks to have your baby scratch their faces or any other part of their bodies. Their fingernails are so sharp. Even though they're so soft, they're very, very sharp, and it sucks to see a scratch in your baby's face. Pro tip, if your baby does scratch themselves for whatever reason, you can use breast milk and that thing will go away really, really quickly. But to prevent all scratches, put some gloves on that baby, and remember to pack a hat even if it's too warm outside. You never know when you're gonna need it, like in air-conditioned spaces, if you're like in the mall or something, or in a store, or in like the frozen section of the grocery aisles. Like it's really important to make sure that your baby's head is covered. Foot socks too. If you're not swaddling or wrapping your baby, make sure they have on some foot socks as well.
Was it arm boots?
I can't laugh. Right here in the wardrobe section, I want to mention the holy grail of getting your baby to sleep, the double swaddle. Now, I did a little bit of a poll on my Instagram story the other day, and people were like, what in the world is a double swaddle? And I'm shocked that people don't really know about the double swaddle. This thing is magical. It's just exactly what it is. You swaddle your baby once and you swaddle your baby twice. Now, I have these really cool Velcro swaddles that I like to use in addition to a Muslim blanket. I find that the 2 in combination just makes for the most heavenly and long-lasting sleeps. I literally have to wake my daughter up to nurse. Otherwise, I think she would sleep through the night if it wasn't for the fact that I was really in pain. So I have to definitely wake her up, because this double swaddle is magical. Now I'm gonna leave a link below for you if you want to check out those Velcro swaddles. I think they're a heaven sent. They make the swaddling very easy. If you're like me, I had to learn the whole art of swaddling the baby. They do it so well in the hospital, and it's just like the first time around I was just like, how do they do it? They always seem to escape. But now that I have the double swaddle technique, there's no escaping. She's in there and she's sound asleep, and for a long time. The next thing that I learned that helped me to survive the early stages of motherhood is to get a wardrobe that is smart, that is sensible. You want to put some thought into this before you have your baby, because the worst feeling in the world is getting ready to leave the house for the first time and realizing that nothing fits or nothing in your wardrobe works, especially if you're nursing. Now, if you're returning to work in the early stages of mothering, this might be very crucial to you. You want to find a wardrobe that makes sense for what you're doing. 9 times out of 10, when it's a newborn, you're breastfeeding, you are going to be warm a lot of the time, because those little babies are like furnaces. So you want to be thoughtful about what you're wearing. Now, when I say thoughtful, I don't only mean like the styles and the different kind of wardrobe pieces that you can get, but also to consider the days of the week and consider how often you might be changing during the day. Now, when you have a newborn baby, you're gonna have spit ups, maybe some up the back poos, things that are gonna get a little bit icky. Add 2 toddlers in the mix, you might want to change your clothes a couple of times. So you want to make sure that you have a wardrobe that accommodates for those things, not only for going out and nursing in public, or for being, cute and sexy and feeling more like yourself when you're out with your newborn, but also for functionality and peace of mind. So consider your wardrobe ahead of time so that you're not fumbling that first time that you're going out looking for something to wear and finding nothing. That is devastating, and I don't want it to happen to you. The next thing kind of goes hand in hand with the wardrobe. You want to snap back at the snapback. Now, a lot of women talk about snapback game being real and all of that stuff, which is basically, when you have a baby, you want to get your body back into shape. I think that that's a noble goal. Sure, if that's what you want to do, but don't get so fixed on the idea of snapping back. Sometimes it takes you a little longer to get back to your normal self, or whatever that means, back to who you want to be, back to a weight that you want to be at, back to a size that you want to be at, back to a certain look. You are going to do that on your own time, but make sure that when you're doing that, you're not doing it to fit into any kind of ideal of what it means to snap back and get back your figure in a certain amount of time. Give your body the necessary time to heal, and when you do feel like getting back into fitness, or losing a couple of the pounds that you've gained during the pregnancy, do it for yourself. Don't do it to fit in, or don't do it for a standard or what you're seeing on social media. Do it because you love yourself and you want to achieve something for you, not because of what other people think and what other people say, but because you want to do it. The next 2 things that I've learned during the early stages of parenting are to find diaper caddies that will work for you so that you're always organized around your house when you need to change those dirty diapers. It happens frequently. We have 2 in diapers now. So having a nice spot where you can keep everything you need for a diaper change is essential. Number 4, and this is a little bit outside of the box. It's a caddy, which is a box. So it might not be outside of the box, it's inside of the box. Or
get on with it.
Yeah. Right. The other part is to get baby accessories that are easy to use. Don't go for the complicated stuff. I know that sometimes looking for baby accessories like a stroller, or even things that you'll use in your kitchen, sometimes getting the fancy stuff makes you feel a little better. It's more aesthetically pleasing. You might feel a little bit of prestige because of the amount of money that you spent on those items. However, if they are not easy to use, they are a big waste of time, waste of money, and will give you a huge headache. So get your diaper caddies ready. Prepare them with all of the things that you need for everything that you need for when you're changing your baby. And you want to have multiple around the house. If you have a bassinet in your room, have a changing caddy there. If you're often spending time in your living room, have a changing caddy there. In the baby's nursery, wherever you are going to be with your baby around the house, have a changing caddy. And get accessories that are easy to use. They will save you the heartache and pain in the long run. Trust me. This next one is my favorite because I am just learning about this product. I didn't know that this thing was possible. I had no idea until I did a little bit of research this time around. If you've seen some of my videos on breastfeeding before, you know my stance. You know how much I didn't enjoy it. But I think that it's because I didn't have what I needed to make it easy and to make it more enjoyable for myself. So when I found the hands-free breast pump, I think it was a game changer for me. I'm able to pump and do other things. If you know me, you know that I don't like to sit there with the handheld or even with the electronic ones holding them in place. It's just not something I enjoy. I like accomplishing other things, and I just found that nursing that way was just too time consuming for me. If you already have an electronic pump that it's compatible with, then you're on your way, man. You're on your way. So I will just link that below so that you can have access to it, because trust me, For those who are pumping, for those who are breastfeeding, the hands-free method is just, I swear by it now. This next tip is for the new moms with other children in the house. Now, it's something that we want to see happen. We want to see that our other children are just falling in love with the newborn baby just as much as we have. And we want them to get along. We want them to love on each other. We want them to just dive in and be okay with this new addition. But sometimes it doesn't happen. Sometimes your other children might need a little bit more time to adjust.
Do you want to hold her?
Yeah.
Put your hand right here. Put your hand right here like this. There we go. Oh, so nice. Whoa, don't push her.
And they might need a little bit more time to really get used to the idea of having another sibling. They didn't ask for another sibling. Maybe they have and they just didn't know what they were asking for. Whatever the circumstances are, this tip is to not force relationships between your other children, but to foster the relationship as they grow and develop naturally. Don't worry about whether or not they like each other, if they'll get along, if they even love each other. All of that will grow over time. But I find that if you're forcing relationships, it might backfire and it's just a disaster. My last tip, and then I am done and I can go and look at this sleeping baby because she's double swaddled and she's still asleep. So I'm gonna wrap this up with this last tip. The last tip is to not play into your fears, but prepare for them ahead of time. This is an unprecedented time that we're living in. It is still crazy. I know that last year when I had Noelle, I didn't expect this pandemonium to carry on this long, but here we are, still in the midst of it, still trying to figure things out and still trying to learn and cope as we go. We are still fearful, we are still nervous, we are still not sure, but instead of playing into those fears, prepare for them ahead of time. For example, if you are leaving the house with your newborn and you're afraid of germs or you're worried about people and things like that, bring what's necessary for you to feel peace of mind and feel comfortable and safe. Pack your sanitizer, bring your wipes, wear your mask, put some extra masks in your bag. You want to make sure that you have your baby protected at all times. Now, this is not only about the pandemic and germs and all of that stuff. This is about your fears in general. As a mom, we have so many things that we could be fearful of, especially in newborn stages. We worry, are they still breathing? Are they okay? We're always checking. But instead of just allowing those fears to grip you, just understand that you are capable of doing it. You are a mother extraordinaire. Even though you're new, you still got what it takes. You are still capable. And there's information out there for you to seek. There are books, there are podcasts, there are YouTube videos. Seek those things out so that you can feel comfortable and confident in raising your baby. And that is my 2 cents on that. And I hope that those tips and those tricks will help you in the newborn stages as they have helped me. I mean, this is my 3rd time around in the newborn stages, and I'm finding that I am more confident now than I was back when I had my son in 2018, which is just a few years ago. But it's funny how much you pick up over the years and how better equipped you are to doing this motherhood thing. The very, very first day that you become a mom, it is already in you. You just don't know it yet. So you want to pull that knowledge out of you. You want to pull that confidence out of you. And you want to make sure that you are fully prepared and fully equipped. And I want to do my part by giving you videos like this so that you can be more equipped and be more prepared to be a new mom to your beautiful baby. I hope that this video was helpful. So until next time, here are some really cool Couch Mom Club videos for you to enjoy. And don't forget to join the club. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and ring that bell so that you never miss an upload. Follow me on all your favorite social media accounts, and don't forget to check out the merch. The links will be in the description right below that like button. And now it's time to get off the couch and into life.